Good morning and happy day. I am Reverend Krista Erickson here with you virtually today to talk about isolation, which many of us are experiencing right now, or we just finished it, or we're about to go into another period of isolation due to the pandemic that's, affecting all of us in one way or another. And one of the things that this time has really done for me was giving me a space to go within. And what I've realized in this period is that so many of our spiritual, religious, philosophical leaders throughout history have gone through periods of isolation, whether willingly or because of health issues or simply because of, the time that they lived. Um, Whitman, Thoreau, Emerson, Jesus even went through 40 days in the desert. These very intense periods of deep inner reflection. And what they each got out of that time was knowing their soul. It was a time for them to realize their religion, their spirituality. And that really is our soul, right? It is what we believe within, what our inner being knows as our truth, which, obviously is going to be different for everyone because we're all individuals. And that soul, it brings forth our morality in a way that no other period that in my personal life has done for me. Being able to have all of this time for inner reflection, inner questioning, reading and researching and getting to know the founders of our own belief system. It's really allowed me to solidify my own personal morality. And partly because we've had to face our mortality during this period too. Whether you're worried about your own or somebody that you love, it's a scary time out there. It really is a scary time, and the isolation, it sucks. It really is awful for everyone, unless like you're really really introvert. But I think even for the super introverted people, they're like, then we could have some people. So let's talk today about really going within and finding out what you can learn about yourself. I have a quote from Holmes. So, our founder, Ernest Holmes, once said that every man becomes his own philosophy, his own institution, and what he has is conditioned by what he is. You are married to your soul, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, for life and death, now and forever. He then goes on to talk about how that really scared him because you can't divorce yourself, which is kind of funny. But ultimately, Ernest Holmes believed that people share universality with all of life and that this unification gives people a divine participation. Now, when I read that, divine participation, that really got me thinking because we are always participating in life, whether we're doing it consciously or not, right? You're there. If you're breathing, you're participating in some way or another. But what are you doing in regards to your divine participation? How are you expressing your morality, your faith, your spirituality through your actions, through your words, and most importantly through your thoughts, because that's really what matters most to us individually is our thoughts, because we can say and we can do things that make the world think we're the best people, the best person alive, right? But if your thoughts are not aligned with that, then that's a soul problem. So what kind of divine participation are you taking part in? Are you posting positive thoughts on social media? I was away from Facebook for quite a long time, for a couple years actually, and I recently came back because of this period of isolation had made me feel like, I need to connect with people. And let me tell you, I'm gone again. It is shocking to see people that I know are full of love and full of faith and full of kindness and caring and compassion. posting just really awful things and just simply adding to the negativity of the space instead of adding to the positivity of it. And why are you doing that? Not accusing anybody, of course, but we've all seen something, whether we thought it was funny or not, and we're like, yeah, that's true, but it's really negative when it comes down to it. And in religious science, our belief is that our thoughts create our world. So if those are really your thoughts, then what are you creating in your space around you? If your thoughts are towards conspiracy and anger and destruction, that's what you're going to end up manifesting in your life, because that is what we believe, right? Like this is how we work. So you have to really go in and question, like, am I truly participating in life in a way that reflects my values? Am I participating in life in a way that reflects my morals? Do I actually behave in a way that says that I am a minister of religious science? That's my own personal question. One I deal with every day, every action, right? I mean, I get angry too, especially with East Coast drivers. Let me tell you something. They're crazy. So it's really just it's a constant practice, right? Nobody's perfect. It is a constant practice. But have you stopped questioning your actions? Have you stopped questioning your thoughts? Have you stopped questioning your words? That's when we kind of hit into this danger point. And I think that's the true gift of being in this period of isolation right now, is that if we want to, if we have the desire to and the drive to, there is no time like now to isolate yourself, whether that is simply in your mind, whether that is an isolation physically, where you're just at home by yourself for a while. Maybe it's taking a bath with the door closed and some nice music on to drown out the sound of the family. But if you choose to isolate and to go within, no distractions, no more Netflix and chilling, no more audiobooks. That's my newest crutch, audiobooks. But to actually go within and to start questioning your own divine participation. Start questioning your soul. Because we all have good souls, right? We cannot not have a good soul, because we are all one with God. God created us, and therefore we cannot be ungodlike. We are all expressions of God. And that brings me to something else Ernest Holmes said. Here it is, sorry. Okay. Ernest Holmes believed that people share universality with all of life, and that this that's what I already read. Let's try that again. Here we go. Okay, this one's right, I promise. Our time should be devoted to knowing the truth that sets humanity free from the problem of ignorance, that truth which alone can bring enlightenment to the world, that people should live together in harmony because they have recognized the divinity within each other. The divinity within each other. That is one of the core principles of religious science, is that there is only one God and we are all one with God, right? That's as simple as you can get in religious science. And how do we go about, I'm so sorry about that break. Like, I just didn't plug my laptop in and I was about to die. So I apologize. And okay, let's get back to it. Where was I? So the core of religious science, right? One God, we're all one with God. And how do we express that? Because that's how do we take what is in our soul and express that into the world that we live in? And for me, I think it's fairly simple, which is simply that we treat others as we treat ourselves. So we love others as we love ourselves. We respect others as we respect ourselves. It really comes down to this idea that it's not just about you, right? We are all in this together because we are all one. And, I was thinking because, online you see all these videos of people like refusing to wear a mask in a store and just causing a ruckus, and it's just, I cannot for the life of me imagine a single one of the world's religious, spiritual, philosophical leaders. I can't imagine any single one of them not being loving and respectful of their fellow human beings. Like, I mean, can you imagine Jesus just being like, I ain't wearing a mask? Like, come on. Like, it's a simple thing that you can do to save somebody else's lives. And yes, I know there are definitely going to be some people that can't because of medical issues. I get that. That's not who I'm referencing here. But there are these really simple acts of kindness that we can do that expresses to those around us the message of our soul, which is that we love. We love because God loves. And God loves because God cannot not love, right? I mean, it always comes back to oneness. If we are all God's children, then we must treat every single individual that we meet as one of God's children. Otherwise, we are doing ourselves a disservice. Because every time we mistreat somebody else, really we are mistreating our own soul. And that is what isolation has taught me. And not that I didn't know this before, but it's really kind of come into a new light with, the intense energies around this pandemic. It's really divided people at a time when we should be coming together. And how are you doing that? What are you doing in your own personal life to come together, to express your oneness, to express your soul to the rest of the world, to express your morality? And again, I really invite you to go within and question your words, your actions, your thought, and not just once, not just twice, constantly. This is a never-ending practice because we're never done growing. We are never done learning, ever, right? I believe even once we die, we still got more to do. So it's you kind of have to just tuck in for the long haul and do the work. Make yourself better every moment that you possibly can. Think of others. Put yourself in someone else's shoes. Show the respect, show the love, show the compassion, because that's what we all want, right? And how can we expect to get that if it's not what we are giving? So I hope that I've given you something to think about. I hope that going forward into future periods of isolation, which again, it looks like a lot of us may be experiencing, that you don't approach it as something that's being forced upon you, but that you approach it as a reprieve from normality, and that you can use that reprieve to really go within, to learn about yourself. What sits well with you? What doesn't? I mean, we all have things that we do that we're like, oh, yeah, and you kind of brush it aside, but use this time to really examine those inner thoughts and beliefs. And I just know, I do, I just know that everything is for a reason, right? And beyond that, everything is for a reason. I know that good will come out of this. That absolute good will come out of this. And that's yet to be seen exactly how it will manifest, but I know that it will in time. It always does, right? It always does. So keep your thoughts positive, examine your soul, and reach out. Isolation is lonely, right? So don't go through it alone. Don't ever ever think that you have to go through any of this alone. NTC has like 24 ministers now, something like that. It's amazing. Like, it is incredible. And even if this isn't your regular church and you're watching this from somewhere else, go to who you're comfortable with. There are ministers, there are reverends, there are practitioners. Call your mom, call a friend, talk to people, Zoom people, Skype people, reach out. Do not ever think that you have to go this alone, because you just don't. I mean, the only time that you do is if you refuse to reach out, right? Because there's always going to be somebody there, somebody willing. You just have to have the bravery in a lot of cases to reach out and ask for help. So please do that if that is something that you are struggling with. You can contact me. My profile is still on Facebook. I may not be, but my profile is, and I will get my messages. And of course, Reverend Terry Little is practitioner this week. So if you do have a prayer request, she will be on it this week and praying for you and doing treatment for you. So take advantage of that. And just know that you are loved by God, by me, by so many other people. And I'm just so happy to have been here and to be able to participate with you guys. And an extra special thank you to everyone that helped make this week possible. So Reverend Anna, Reverend Michelle, Reverend Terry, Reverend Francisco, oh my gosh, Reverend Carol Ann, the whole choir, Natalie behind the scenes. Thank you, Natalie. You do way more than I know you get credit for, girl. So thank you. And I just appreciate all of you. And I hope that you have a great day. And blessings, blessings, blessings to you all.